Welcome back to a fresh new episode of Missin Curfew. Up now.
Oh, what's up, fella?
Curfew Calls Edition. Idea by our boy Maxie and Binger.
We're just going to get ripped here and just answer a couple questions, huh?
What have you thought about the curfew calls?
I like them.
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
For the
I like when
here.
the guys they tell their story, they get kind of to the point and they don't like drag it on too much. It's it's either radio or TV 101. They just don't drag it on.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that aren't ready to host their own podcast. I don't think, right?
They're probably just shit-faced in their basement though when they're calling. They're probably hiding from their wives. They just finished jerking off and now they're ready to call in. Although
you could probably say we probably weren't ready to host a podcast when we first started either. But
yeah, no, you're right.
Keep them short and sweet. I like when they're short and sweet. We've been pretty nice to guys yet, right? We haven't ripped any guys I've called. All the calls have been pretty solid.
Yeah, solid. Yeah, I would say solid. I'm looking forward to this.
I think Maxie kind of teased that there might be a couple coming at me, and I say fucking bring it on, boys. All right? Bring it on.
Let's hear
What do
it.
you got to fucking say to me? Bring it on.
I mean, all these boys, they're just like, you know, you can tell how big of a fucking mutant people are by their Hotmail accounts. Like these fucking, I don't know. Kiss my ballsack at hotmail.com. I'm sure this guy's a fucking, good guy. And who's this guy?
Who still uses a Hotmail, by the way? Wasn't that? I had a Hotmail account in junior. Right? Is it a Gmail now? Or
Monty Beers on me. 96 at Gmail.
I don't mind that one. Beers on you, bud. Do you guys have Hotmail, Binger, Maxie? No, right?
No.
Hotmail was like Updog. What was that thing called in junior?
ICQ.
Yeah. Fuck, eh?
Huh?
We would get a heads up. That was about 2 charades. Updog, what was the thing in junior? ICQ.
Remember
that? That's how you would like talk to people back in the day.
That was the first
you don't even know.
First ever social. It was before AOL Messenger. It was ICQ.
ICQ.
In Canada, anyway.
In Canada.
We had AIM. That was my first social platform.
AIM. Yeah.
I just remember down in my billet's basement trying to talk to girls on ICQ.
The little green flower would mean you were online.
I'm like, is she there? Oh, yeah. There we go. Hey, what's up, baby? How are you? How are you?
I remember playing Duke Nukem with a dial-up modem.
What's Duke?
It was like the first ever first player game. Duke
Nukem. Like before Super Mario Brothers and all that?
It was before, before Super Mario Brothers with the gun, like Duck Hunt. Is that what you mean?
I used to love Duck Hunt.
Okay, no, so that was with the gun. This is on the computer, and it was basically first shooter, and you used to get the rocket launcher, used to get but before James Bond, if that was your question.
I never
James
played.
Bond was on Super Nintendo,
N64.
64, thank you.
Greatest game
boy,
ever.
Maxie.
This was before.
Bond was the greatest game?
This was before James Bond. It was the fucking best game, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
James Bond. I'll play you right now.
You do 4 players. You get, everybody sitting there in the controllers is great.
Sick, yeah.
I
Come around the corner with the little pistol. I like the little pistol. You
I did play that. I did play that.
Yeah,
I sucked at it.
Oh, it was a
The same exact song for every map, just playing on loop.
Did you play Duck Hunt at all?
Of course.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I would cheat.
You would cheat
if I was struggling. I would get closer and closer to the screen.
Well, that's because you just got long fucking arms.
I get frustrated.
And your hand is bigger than the gun.
Remember when they fly away? You're like, fuck off. I get in there as close as I could. But Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers were my games that I really dialed into. And then Blades of Steel. Remember that game?
Yeah. Would you use the... Oh, no, that was...
ice hockey. The fat guy, the skinny guy, and the medium guy.
Fuck, were they bang on with that?
Yeah, I would go a lot of fat guys and skinny guys. No medium guys. No? Big bruisers and then fucking buzzsaws.
So no character guys. You just needed either the highly fast, skilled guy
guys
with the
and speed.
Little coyote.
Yeah, like the Devils now. They got meat on the back end and speed up front, and they're fucking first in the match.
And a good-looking trainer on the bench.
Frosty, I love you, buddy. Curfew calls here. Looking forward to it. Maxie Binger, great idea. Send it, Maxie. Let's see what these fellas got to say.
We got a real mixed bag for you guys here today, but we'll start off with one that I think is a good one.
Okay.
Fellas, you fucking beauties. Brett Fox here from up in Alberta. You were just talking about Hubie and Weegsy Babe talking about money on the board. I just want to hear what's the most you fellas ever put up, what the reason was, and maybe some good stories with other guys and some big moolah on the board. Thanks, fellas. Like always, rest in peace. Jimmy Hayes, keep up the great work.
Well
said about Scoopsy. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, I agree. Around the holidays, it's always nice to hear, miss him.
His little kid, Bo.
Yeah.
Did you see him in the Franklin mini stick thing? They put him like on the cover of, because he's got that sick setup down in the basement, right? It's
awesome.
Yeah.
For kids?
Yeah, it's
for
him.
like a Christmas
for
thing?
like they're like, because he's set up down the basement as National League. He's got the little Franklin net with the ice, and It's a picture of him. I mean,
oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah,
awesome.
He's a little Jimmy Scoops.
To answer your question, yeah, money on the board. I remember my first ever game, and we just talked about Frosty. I was in Long Island, Nassau Coliseum for my first NHL game. And
that was where you played your first one, huh?
Yeah.
You're like, this is NHL, eh? Fuck.
Yeah, it was fuck. And so Frosty came up to me and was like, all right, like you know, your first game, you're the first rounder, you signed a big, signing bonus. This is
give your balls a tug.
Yeah. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And he's like, I need you to fire.
How much money did you have in your account? Did you already get your signing bonus? So you had some cash?
I did not. No, I got a pretty nice check after training camp because I played in I think I played in 5 or 6
regular season games.
No, exhibition games, and you used to get paid for those.
That's right, $1,000 a game or something, right?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
I think I maybe got I
don't think
maybe $2,500 a game or something, maybe more.
I don't think the Ducks ever paid me for my couple exhibition games before I made the squad.
Well, this was before. You probably did that after the lockout.
No, my first exhibition games were pre-lockout.
2002.
Yeah.
So I think I got a check with all my escrow and not escrow, fucking escrow. That's
all your preseason games,
and the per diem per day.
Yeah,
so
$85 a day.
They might have gave me, I don't know, 10 grand.
So you could have paid it up.
10 grand.
You had enough to pay.
But yeah, I had to put. I think I put 2,500 for the team and $1,000 for the trainers at that time.
Wow, that's fucking large as a rookie.
Yeah, for my first ever game.
That's crazy.
And I just got talked into it. I had a bunch of vets on my team that were like, all right, kid.
Yeah. I often tell this story. I was not a first rounder like you. If I wouldn't have made the Ducks the year I did and played another year in the minors making 70 grand, I would have had to got a job that next summer. I didn't have enough money. I blew my fucking signing bonus. So when I put money on the board, I had no money. I went to training camp the year I made the Ducks. I think I had 10 grand in my checkings account, and that was it. Maybe less to my name. So I think I put up $1,000 my first game. For
sure.
I was like, fuck, boys, I don't even know if I can get $1,000 out of my bank account. Like I think my limit was $250
Prongs is probably like.
Prongs is looking at me like, who is this fucking kid?
Hey? You want some money? You should have lent me some money. And then I signed a half decent ticket before.
You were a fucking bonus baby. You said $1 million, right?
Yeah, I was
$1 million, boys.
But listen, I probably put up more money when I first made the St. Louis Blues off of PTO because I was so fucking fired up. Then I would have put up. I might have put $5 grand up.
Wow,
I was making $675 or $720.
So for me, my biggest one was my return to Vancouver. I put up. What did I put up? I think I put up 2,500, and then 1,000 to the game winner.
Yeah, that's
and that was my biggest one. But my standard on the board was 500 if it was just, I don't know, whatever. Hey, boys, we need to win 500. Back to Toronto, Anaheim, anywhere else, I put $1,000 on the board.
Yeah, that's standard.
Yeah.
And then if it's rally time, I would go up to the board and I'd have the marker and I'd just start looking around and be like, hey, who's O'Brien? Let's go. 1,000.
How about these?
You'd be like, what for what? I'm like, just shut up. 1,000. Yeah, and then I go to the next guy, be like, hey, you match this or what? And then like, hey, Vladdy, you're making 8.5.
How many rubles, Vladdy?
Yeah. Let's go. And then by the end of it, this game, you're all fired up, fucking ready for warm-ups because there's 25,000 on the board.
Yeah. And by the way, it's an investment in your fucking year-end bender.
It is.
But how about the guys on the other end where they're like, you're like, you haven't put any money on the board. Oh, we always lose when I put money on the board. Remember those guys, the cheap fuckers? We always lose when I put money. I'm like, fuck off.
Totally.
And they're like, well, I'll put a silent 500 up. I'm like, you think that's why we lost because you put $500 on the fucking board? We lost because you don't fucking play hard.
Yeah, play harder.
Because you don't get in the lane, you don't fucking hit, you don't get pucks out, and you stink.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the board, brother.
Cock sniffer. I mean, not cock sniffer, like jock sniffer.
Yeah. You know who put a lot of money up on a regular basis? It was Toots in Nashville. Anytime Toots went to the board, it was 1,000.
Oh, for sure.
It was 1,000.
Like, anytime he would bet after the river, after the river, it'd be minimum 1,000 too.
It was Toots 1,000. The biggest return in a game, I want to say it probably had to be Matt Sundin back to Toronto. I don't know exactly. Well, I know exactly what it was. He put something outrageous on the board and then a team night out, and he took us to music. And what a night it was in Toronto. Did you ever go to music back in the day? Of course you did. Maybe. Yeah, you had to. But Mats came out, and it wasn't just like, hey, boys, take my credit card. Mats came out. He was dead tired after the game. And we just, I went full up, dog. I put on a show for him. The next day, he was like, fuck, you're going hard, eh?
Epic.
Foxy, thanks for the call, buddy. Updog, everyone out there. Updog signed for $1 million when he was 19. Just half hard, ready to rock.
Great stories. Next we got Chewy here with a question.
Fellas, what's up? Steve here, or Chewy as some of the boys call me. Obes, we actually share a former teammate in Trevor the Train Gillies. I know you've mentioned him a couple times on the pod, but if you could share one or two of your memorable stories of him, that'd be awesome. But keep doing what you guys are doing. Love the pod. Thanks.
Where did you play at Gillies again?
Chewy, the train, the Gills train. I got a picture of the Gills in my bathroom over top of my of the pisser, actually, Gills. It says two Obes. One of the. It's a great picture. We're in the jungle and he's going like this. It says Gillies and he said two Obes, one of the biggest beauties to play the game. Don't sweat the petty things. What do you say? Don't sweat the petty things. Pet the sweaty things or something like about, I don't know. He's a fucking beauty. That's exactly. Don't sweat the petty things, pet the sweaty things or something. So the train, the Gills train, I love the train. Used his warm up. His warm up routine was like a fucking heavyweight fighter trying to get ready for a fucking game. He had a sweat jacket and tunes and he'd be fucking I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, those fucking guys are nuts.
I would always go to Gills because Gills would snap about passes on the tape, right? Like I'd be like, boys, watch this. Gills is coming around. I'm going to fucking rip this on his backhand. And I'd rip it on his backhand and he'd turn around, fucking passes on the tape. Oh, fucking passes on the tape. But one of my favorite Gills stories was we were in the jungle and he was having a tough day already. And like something happened at the rink and he, wasn't in the lineup and something happened with his family back home. And we're driving to lunch and I'm in this shitty rental car in Abbotsford, British Columbia. And if he doesn't get pinched for no seatbelt, the cop pulls him over for no seatbelt, gives him a ticket, and Gills went bananas in this little rental car. I thought he was going to break the car. He's fucking like, fuck, hit the dashboard. I'm like, Gills, calm down, man. It's a rental. Man. He
ripped the steering wheel right off.
Yeah, he could have ripped the steering wheel right off. The guy was an absolute killer. He used to get fired up in Portland at times, right? And guys would be like, go calm Gills down. I'm like, fuck you. You go calm him down. Yeah. I'm not calming him down. He's going to punch me. So one of my favorite teammates, he loves the pod. We got to get him on. We should get him on in the new year, but no better teammate than the train.
You play with him in Portland and in Abbotsford?
Yeah.
Both ways. Yeah. Wow.
We had the toughest team in Portland. It was a lot. We had him, Cannadips, Jordan Smith, Nathan Saunders, myself, I'm missing guys, and Gills would come out with this fucking mohawk and he would work the line and we would just be like, what is anyone going to do tonight?
Yeah. And
if you don't want him, grab Cannadips. You don't want him, grab Smitty. You don't want him, grab Saunders.
That's
it was
crazy.
Like, yeah. So Gills, I love you, buddy. We'll get you on the pod. Chewy, thanks for the call, fella.
Fellas, let me tell you, I'm going to set the mood. It's a Friday night, 10 to 12, pretty drunk, listening to your Curfew. Love it. Love both of you. Love listening to news every week. Anyhow, we're going to move on from that. Everybody tells you that. I got a buddy. He's the only player in Ontario Junior C history to lead the playoffs in points and in penalty minutes. Beauty. Here's some of his one-liners. Sully, I took a guy to work this week. I asked him, what street is the Hunter Street Bridge on? Poor fella. You guys have to have a buddy that's got one-liners like this. Let me know. This is my question. Who's your buddy that's phenomenal, but is just a space cadet? Talk to you later. Keep it rolling.
What the fuck?
What was his name?
Soul Fact?
Soul Fact. What are you smoking, bro? I want some.
What did he say?
He's smoking the shit you got out here in California.
Oh, I didn't understand one thing on that one-liner.
Listen, I'm going to say, first of all, I love that you're listening to our podcast just pinned at 12 o'clock
Friday,
because it's probably the best way to listen to it. So thank you for listening at that time, you fucking absolute beauty. What was this question?
Who do we have that are good at one-liners, but they're just space cadets like that guy?
Well, I will say this. Joffrey Lupul is the best texter I've ever.
Yeah, or if you're watching a game and you got a few pints in you.
His texting ability, Loops is funnier. Loops is funny in real life too, don't get me wrong. But Loops' text, like I've always told him, like he could write a book. I truly believe Loops could write a book if he sat down and like he's very articulate. Is that the right word?
Yep.
And his texts are funny. Like he'll text me stuff sometimes. He'll text me stuff sometimes, and I'm like, that's hilarious. So when it comes to texting one-liners and things, I'm going to say Joffrey Lupul. One-liner Space Cadet. I don't really know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I mean, you're good at one-liners too, especially if you're fucking. If we're golfing and you're like, hey, heads up over there, watch out for my divots. It's like on a random fucking fairway.
Left, low, and left.
Yeah. No, you're great at that. Schwartzy is hilarious. So that Jaden Schwartz is probably the identical, or, you know, and I would probably say some guys would say that about me for saying random shit.
I mean, buddy, if you get you in your element where you're like, like even when we were in Cabo, some of the shit you said was like, you're like, I think you got fucking glue on your ball or something like, you're one of the funniest guys I've ever met when you're like, when you're fucking into it. Like
that was
focused.
A sick goal. Sorry.
Yeah. See, like point being, right? He's like, oh, there's, look at ice.
Look, ice.
Look, frost. Who had great one-liners that I played with though? Fuck, I can't think of anyone.
Steve Ott.
Fuck.
Otter was great.
Otter, I'm sure was great. I'm going to go back to a guy by the name of Chris McAlpine. We signed him in the lockout year. Casey Hankins. Shout out to Hank. The all-American dream. Casey Hankinson was our captain. And we signed this guy, Chris McAlpine. And obviously, Updog, I'm young. I'm thinking, fuck, this veteran guy's coming in and take my ice time. I didn't even know his name. I called him Chris McQuiggle. So the boys, we started calling him Quigsy, but he was a great fucking guy. And he had these one-liners out. So I was like on the fucking bus one day, and I'm like, how good is a chew after a big win? Hey, boys, I'm putting one in. He's sitting in front of us. A beauty guy's been in the league, NHL for 600 games. He's sitting in front of us. He's like, how good's a chew after a fucking turkey dinner? Like he was just like, he just had great things to go. So I'm going to say Chris McAlpine. He had some other one-liners that were great. And then Disco Dan Baalsma. This guy would come in before games doing naked cartwheels, and he had great. Dan Baalsma had a great set saying, jack of all trade, master of none. Yeah. So that was always a good one. But awesome. Yeah. All right. There we go, buddy. Thanks for the call. But whatever you're smoking up there, where was he from? Ontario?
I don't even know.
Junior C. Okay. What a league. What a league.
You guys want to read this first one from Gong Show Thai 88?
Sure.
It's a long story, but
Gong Show Thai. See these names? These guys are just complete.
Gong Show Thai 88.
He's just a Gong Show guy.
Guaranteed. I see something here about McDonald's drive-thru, so here we go. Tales from the Mem Cup. What's up, fellas? The year is 2005, and our buddy is playing as a seventh defenseman for the London Knights. Great city, London. So we load up a crew and head east on the 401 to London for a week of booze, hockey, and Western Broads. So Western University is known in Ontario Uppy for the best looking girls, best party chicks.
And that's what they call them, Western.
It's Western University. Yeah. So Western Broads. I had a couple good nights. Thursday night, we head out for a night of debauchery and end up at the Bark and Frog. Not feeling the vibe and the desire to put any of these co-eds on scholarships, we make a line change and head straight to Old Chicago, aka the best cougar bar in southwestern Ontario at the time. Here's where the night gets interesting. I wheel some 45-year-old divorcee, and she brings me back to her condo. Now I'm in one, and she fucks, fellas. Long story short, she turned me into a man that night. But as the day breaks, she jumps in the shower, and that's where I make my exit. But before I grab $60 from her purse for the cab ride and McDonald's drive-thru back to the hotel I was staying at. But don't judge me for robbing her. I spent way more than that on penicillin for the clap she gave me.
Oh, fuck, Obie. I don't know what's funnier, that story or you reading it.
I know, right? I mean, that's
high quality stuff there.
Ty Kisner's his name. What a story.
You're giving him away, eh?
I'm giving him away. Are we not supposed to give it? If you're calling it a Curfew Cup, I'm giving you away. On Curfew calls, I'm giving you away. Brother. Great story. I mean, listen, London's unbelievable.
I bet.
It makes me realize my first experience with an older girl. So I go to All-Star break for my first year pro in I'm in Cincinnati. We go to Vegas, up dogs. I end up leaving Vegas. I got no money. I can't even get a cab to get out there. Anyways, long story short, there was a fashion convention at our hotel, and I met this older gal from St. Louis. And I was 21 years old. And up dog, I'm telling you, buddy, It was one of the best, it was one of the best experiences ever. So, Ty, I know what you're saying. I didn't rob her though. I didn't rob her purse after. Fella, for fuck's sakes. $60.
She ain't turned you into a man if you're not stealing $60.
$60. Jesus Christ. But
clean her out then, why don't you?
I understand. That's a great story, but
I'm sure she'd probably say the $60 was well worth it if he was bringing the heat.
Especially because she gave him the clap. So the joke was on him, eh? That was a great one. Up, dog. Should we read one more, Maxie?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Get in there.
Let's see. Let's look here. Let's see here. Should we read Marv here? A couple golf questions or what? Fellas, Marv here from Denver. Quick hitters. Favorite track you played, track you most want to play. Favorite golf story from your days in the show. Keep it flying. R.I.P. Broadway. Little golf talk?
Yeah, a little golf chatter. Favorite track I've ever played? Pebble Beach.
Yeah, that was with you.
Pebble's unreal.
That was a one of a kind.
Pebble, I love Pebble.
I mean, yeah, it's probably hard. I mean, Pine Valley with you.
Pine Valley was great.
Nice time.
But when you make that turn and you go from, what is it, 3 or 4 at Pebble?
And then you get along the water and you're like, yeah, 3's down the hill and then it's fucking.
4's a little, so it's 1's a par 4, 2's a par 5, 3's a little par 3, 4. When you get to 4 and you make that turn, you hit it down the hill and you got to hit up, you're like, here we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Epic.
It is epic. Shinnecock, what a track. Tracks I would want to play, Augusta.
Augusta's a nice time, yeah.
Who do we got to suck off to get on Augusta?
I've been there for a Masters. But
have you
been there?
No, I've never been there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go for a Masters because I love Masters Week so much at my house, on my couch, but
I like golfing in Cabo.
I love golfing in Cabo.
Yeah, your golf game gets good in Cabo.
Gets better.
When I was in Nashville, I used to, after practice, Mike Sillinger would always want to go play golf, and he'd have a 6-pack on ice in his truck.
Buddy.
As soon as we were done, we'd get in there, and he'd be just, and then we hit the first tee box, put the beers in the cart.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris Gratton. I love Gratz. He's my second year in Tampa. He was our veteran guy. Lived on a golf course in Tampa. My buddy Mikey and him, same thing after practice, go right out there, tunes on in the cart. Gratz would have beers. I mean, fuck, we almost played more golf than we did hockey that year. So it was a great time. He was a beauty veteran guy for me. Denver. I never played any golf in Denver. Quincy took me to one course, and then we played with Kiefer last year in the finals.
I played that Cherry Hills.
Yeah.
It's sick.
I always tried to get on Denver Country Club and never could. Never played Cherry Hills. Didn't play much golf in Denver.
What about this one? Crazy fan story from Mark. Every tournament we went to as kids, my buddy's grandfather got kicked out. He'd be hanging over the glass yelling at the refs at least once, and he'd get kicked out for the day or the rest of the tournament. Another time, kid that I played with in Pee Wee was about 6'3", 270. That's a big kid.
In Pee Wee?
But he was scared to hit kids because he never wanted to hurt them. He would just practice his dangles and let kids bounce off him. Parents would go berserk when he'd want to skate through kids. He did it in the nicest way though, but he looked terrible at it. He had the old Sergei Fedorov skates and gloves back in the days. Magical. That setup on Fedorov was all time, Ed. That was all time.
That was, I mean, when
Sergei
he
had the best
when
style
he
ever.
had the white Nikes with the Nike bucket and the Nike
white
gloves.
Just
Talk about
full
fucking, yeah. There was nothing
Russian
better.
assassin, yeah.
Nothing better.
What was his nickname? Did he have one? Like the Russian was
missile?
Beret.
I don't know.
Who was the professor was
Igor Larionov.
And then you were telling me
the Magic Man was Datsuk.
so what was Fedorov's?
Coxman.
Pistol.
So
The
like
pistol.
so you remember the old wool socks we used to wear when we first got in the league?
Yeah.
My first training camp, my second training camp, Fedorov signed with the Ducks. And I was in the schlepp room, right? But I had to go get like a stick or something. I'm like, fuck, I needed some sticks or something. And he had cut off the old wool sock right at the very end where it goes up here in your,
over your thigh.
and put it on his head. And his hair was flowing through it. And I just looked at him like, fuck, is he cool?
Yeah.
Like
so he cut
the old wool sock at the part that comes up by your cock where you put your garter belt.
Yeah.
He cut it there, wore it as a beanie, and his hair was flowing through it. And I'm just like, I'm 20 years old, and I'm like,
Guy's nasty. Huh?
I wonder what he's doing after a fucking skate. Where's he going?
To Miami.
Where's he going?
Well, he's going to Hollywood.
He's going to Hollywood. He's going to Hollywood. Was there? Listen.
There wasn't a question. But
I was a kind of a. I've always been kind of a fat boy. 6'3", 270 though in Pee Wee. What's he eating? Wonder Bread or a fucking day or what? 6'3"?
You see the picture of this kid, this football kid that was 12 going around the internet?
Did you see the picture of this kid when he was 12?
No, but if he had his...
You see how fat he was?
Did he have as much back hair as he has now?
I posted a photo under that saying like 12-year-old me versus this guy. And that guy he has a full arm tattoo.
I know. I said sick tatty.
Yeah.
Guys, did you see him running? He's got a fucking mustache too, I think.
Yeah. He's 23, but they're saying he's 12. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I don't know.
23?
I mean, he looks like it.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
I don't want to speculate. I don't want to speculate on that.
Let's not speculate, but let's talk facts here. Ever since you opened up a can of worm about parents,
yeah,
I don't know if it's like my phone heard you talking, but I get these clips now of parents getting tossed.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But one parent yesterday called the guys. They suck a bag of dicks, and the one bum goes, "Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice language in front of the kids." He's like, "Let's not forget, we're not playing fucking tennis here." I'm like, where is this guy? Like, where the fuck? And another one, this mom jumps up on the bench. Peeler tweeted out, she hits the ref 3 times in the head.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Just give it to him." The guy's like, "Guy's making fucking $20 to call the fucking game. He's off it." Right?
She probably wants him.
Man, she should have.
Take the guy down.
Up dog. My phone heard you now. It's like all I get is these parents. Parents out there, smoke some chill weed before you go to the game or have an up dog gummy and just let your kid play for fuck's sake, right?
Come on, have an indica.
That tees us up perfectly for this next call here.
All right.
Fellas, Short Dog here, resident hippie of the crew, checking in. I wanted to check in and see the best stone story of the up dog and good old Obes. I know for me, I got a little too deep with the good old substances early on and was woken up in the middle of the night at age 14 by 2 gentlemen who decided to take me to the Utah wilderness and spend 3 months in the wilderness while I was in the midst of tearing up the high school hockey league of Southern California. So, things happen. We live and we learn. I grew up in Laguna, so I love hearing you guys chat about the good old days of ripping around Newport. Love everything you guys do and bring to the table. Best pod in game. Cheers, boys.
Oh, what was his name?
Good guy.
Great guy.
That was Short Dog.
Short Dog from Laguna. I've been baked with the up dog a lot. First, do you remember when we had our
I like it a lot.
Our Big Canyon party to get me in Big Canyon at Loops' house when Loops was going to join too?
Oh yeah.
So boys, I'll be honest, at the time I was getting some suits made by a female that, put the things together, boys. So up dog texts me, he's like, "Where the fuck are you? This is your party."
Yeah, I'm throwing a hosting party.
Loops's.
Oh yeah,
at Loops' house for me and Loops to
yes.
join Big Canyon. So we had 12 members from Big Canyon come over. My 2 sponsors, Tom Doherty and Cart, put it together. And Uppy was going to be already a member, so he was there. And Uppy's like, "Where the fuck are you? Get over here." I'm like, "I'm coming. I'm getting some suits. You know what I'm doing." So I get there, whatever, the party goes on, and Loops' sponsor doesn't show up. So everyone leaves, and me and Updog, when everyone leaves, we just get as baked as we possibly can. And you remember Loops' sponsor showed up late, and me and Uppy were on the couch, and we couldn't stop laughing. Like, we are just like, the party was over. Poor Loops is trying to entertain one guy. Me and Updog are fucking cooked, and I'm just like, we're laughing beyond belief. And then the other time I remember is Thanksgiving. You could tell. The other one I remember is, you tell that one. Me and Updog were going to invest in a weed farm, right? A buddy of ours, we'll leave his name out of it, but he's like, "We need 300 grand. And basically you guys are only ones putting the money in, right?" So I'm like, "All right, Updog, this is what we do. We just get as fucking baked as we can and we'll see what answer comes to us," right? So we get baked, we start laughing, like 10 minutes in, we look at each other like, "No fucking way we're giving these guys 300 grand. No fucking way we're giving these guys 300 grand. I text the guy, I'm like, "Buddy, we're out. Sorry, bud."
Totally. But can we have some more of that Chuba?
Well, fuck, is this the stuff you're growing? Because we'll take a crop of it.
So we hosted 3-man Thanksgiving party, right?
Yeah, Luke's was playing in Russia. Poor bastard. We were at his house having Thanksgiving. Updog's like, I got the turkey. I'm like, all right, buddy, let's do it.
So not only going out to get the turkey and all the stuffing and the carrots and the potatoes gravy, but I'm like, fuck it, we need the gas mask. So I go to the weed store. I buy this fucking Darth Vader mask, and it has the full
the bong was this fucking long on
it. Had a 12-inch bong to the bottom of it.
We looked like the Demolition Man wrestling back in the day. You put it on, the bong went down.
It was
to
full
here.
Breaking Bad style. Like
exactly.
It had the eyes, and so I was like, I'll try this out first. And it was like probably noon. The first game was just like ending.
Yeah, and we were hungry, and we had a night the night before. We had a Super Wednesday night before. So thumbs up, get over here. I'm like, I'm coming, fella. I'm coming.
So I'm like, someone videotape this. Like, let's I'm gonna see how much smoke I can come out of my ears. So it was like a 1-2, like, pull on the thing, and then all of a sudden, like the eyes started to fill up with smoke and started coming out of the ears. And then of course, like, I can't do those bong rips. People who do bong rips are, congratulations.
Yeah,
look at crazy. I don't know. That's nuts. Anyway, I took this mask off and I was burping up weed smoke for the rest of the day. I remember and all the smoke would come out of my mouth. It's like hours later.
Well, that wasn't the only one we did either. You said the tone with the biggest one, but then we kept hitting it, and like.
So this is Obie,
I was so baked.
Obie was so baked on the couch
baked.
that me and our buddy Joe were obviously doing things, prepping the dinner. We had like everything just in the stove and
we got it from Bristol Farms.
Yeah, and then so I'm like, hey, Obes, just one drill. Get up, carve the turkey for us, come back down, and we'll just let it sit for a bit.
I was like, that's a lot to ask right now.
He gets up and he goes to the kitchen. He comes back, 12 seconds later. I'm like, that was impressive. So I stay on the couch. We watch the rest of the quarter or whatever. We go to eat. We come in. This fucking nice big turkey was cut into like 6 slices, just about 3.5 inch
turkey steak.
Piece.
Turkey steak, boys. Grab a turkey steak.
I'm like, fuck it, I'll have one of these legs.
I was thinking about making it just a turkey fucking sando. I was like, that's a good piece of beef there. Put it right in. Yeah, it was.
I was on that big. I can't. So anyway, back to the bong.
Last time I did a bong hit, I did it with Manchester's kids, and I lived in CDM back in the day. And I came out of their house. I was like, "Where am I?" I had to put it in my phone. I was 3 streets from where I live.
It's scary getting that high. That's what's scary. But people have dude, when people have a bad story of like a weed gummy or something, it's usually coming from just way too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I did a couple little puffs out of a vape in Cabo there on the last night after you left, and I felt real nice. A little tequila and a couple little vape puffs.
Oh, nice.
I felt good.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know. Maybe I should get back into it.
Do you still smoke or no? Just the gummies, eh?
No, I don't even take the gummies anymore. I do these Calm gummies at night. They're like this little.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Calm, CALM.
Is it a pink case? Oh no, the company's not Calm.
No. That's actually a weed gummy. This is just a magnesium gummy.
Oh,
they act as a weed gummy. They chill me out. I sleep great. But I don't know. I'm on the wine program at night. Cool. Like calm me down, watch a game after the kids go to bed. And then these Calm gummies are nice. I got to get back.
Maybe we should get baked here soon.
Yeah. Just have
I got two vape pens at my house.
Yeah.
Maybe Thursday night. You want to get baked Thursday night?
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting off topic here, but when was one time where you're like, holy fuck, man, guys, bro, I'm fucking baked.
He's like this morning on the way in on the
I want to say one more thing before you do. When I first started smoking weed, when it was the best, I remember my first hit of smoking.
You didn't give a fuck.
I was like, holy fuck, man. This is unreal. I remember sitting there sometimes being like, I'm so baked if my house caught on fire. Like, I think I just called the fire department. I'm like, yo, hurry up, get over here, bro. Binger, when was the first time you were like, wow, man?
I've never had last night. I've never had like I'm totally like I'm fucked, I'm way too high moment, but I remember in college on 420, me and my buddies, we got 3 supernatural joints that were this big, and each of us smoked one. And it was probably like an eighth. Each one had an eighth of weed in it, basically. And we ended up that night, we ordered Domino's. We put Dino Nugs on the Domino's pizza, bagel bites on the Domino's pizza, and chicken taquitos on the Domino's pizza. Rolled it up into a burrito and had a night.
Break out the Pepto-Bismol. Holy fuck.
Heads up.
Dog, grab those Tums.
Oh, you just got me thinking
Your
about
poor toilet bowl, for
By the
fuck's
way,
sakes.
I used to roll cross doobies.
Buddy, you were the best.
I used to love
This guy was the best
rolling
doobie
was my
roller
thing.
in the fucking National
Like,
League,
in
bro.
fact, if you just, I could break up like an ounce right here and roll like 6 nice doobs.
Why don't you guys come up to Santa Monica on Thursday or the weekend? We'll have a nice time at my
I'm out of
apartment.
town. So is Obes.
In the new year, I'll come up to
Yeah.
I'll come up to Hippieville there, where everyone's
the
pissing
art
and
of
shit on the street.
Listen, the art of rolling a doobie's gone now because you buy these doobs and they're perfect.
You buy these pre-rolls.
Yeah, but man.
Buddy, the one time you spun up like 40 doobies up on a roof, I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah, we get there. I'd bring the grinder, grind it, and then I'd put the filters, man. You know, my little cut up the business card, do the filthy.
It's something about the process
But my
of
cross
the whole thing.
doobies were nice.
Max,
then
did you ever smoke weed or no?
Yeah.
You're not a big weed guy?
I like college, yeah, and like a little bit. I mean,
Did you ever do
here and
blades?
I used to do spoons on the
call
on
them-
the oven with,
Nah, they
with
weren't called spoons with the knives.
knives.
And on the old coil.
I'll leave his name out of it because but this guy was a good Saskatchewan boy. I'll leave it at that. He's like, you ever do knives? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bud?
Roll up little balls of weed, little tiny balls, right? Just put them on a plate, heat up knives on a stove so they get hot. And then you tap it down and then you tap it and you put it underneath like a big Coke bottle.
It's good for you.
Gravity bomb.
Gravity bomb.
I'm the king of gravity bombs.
Yeah, but what would you heat up the weed with?
No, so you gravity bong, you get something like this.
Yeah.
You cut
it,
this in half,
of course.
put it in water. You get a little thing on top
Tin
here.
foil.
Tin foil. And then
Cut
you put
some
the
holes.
weed in there like it'd be the bowl.
Okay.
You light it up, and as you
And then
light
you
it up,
pull
you
it, pull
lift
it, pull
up,
it, pull it, and smash
and
it
all
down.
this becomes smoke, and then you're
Okay,
in
I
the
got
clouds.
something even better for you. So picture the 2-liter bottle, cut off the bottom, fill it up with ice, spin the thing around and shove it up there. And like, so now it's packed full of ice, right? Cut holes on the bottom of it and then do the same thing. So you're pulling it up, but it's all full of like cold air ice. It's nice.
Wow. Me and my friends would do, like the water coolers from like the water, those big jugs.
delivery men bring.
Yeah. We would do those in pools. You would put those in a pool. You bring it up, and that thing you put it like an astronaut helmet. You get underneath it. Oh.
And then what would you guys do? Just play video games?
They
or what?
fucking order food and
What would
Then you
watch?
get dino
sports?
nugs and
they
taquitos.
eat food. The guy used to be fucking
Yeah, that's
300
true.
pounds. 200. What was your type? Highest, heaviest you ever were again?
Junior year of college, I was 240.
Fuck, that's good.
240.
Now I'm
That's what I used to
175.
play at. Hey, speaking of turning the clocks back, smoking weed, remember the volcano? The first.
I think I had the first ever.
vaporizer, yeah.
I had the first ever volcano in Philly, 2007.
Fill up a bag, yeah.
I bought it in Center City, Philadelphia, and it was a staple. I mean, people used to come over on the road. Was it the first time you ever seen one in my place?
I think we had one in Cincy.
Did you?
Same guy from Saskatchewan. I'll leave it at that. He bought it. Yeah.
In Cincy.
Yeah. Maybe.
So no, because Cincy would have been really early. I remember I bought it in Philly, so 2008, because you didn't play in Cincy in 2008. I don't think.
No, I didn't. Maybe we didn't. But now that I think of it, we were stoned the whole fucking time. Weren't we? I
mean, these kids are
You know
stoned
what?
too now. It's so much easier to get the gummies.
It's
now.
funny. I didn't smoke weed when I played junior, and then I got to pro when I started smoking weed,
Yeah.
and it helped me. It kept me in. I would
we
have
talk
been
about
out.
this all the
I would have been
time.
out more than I was already out. I would just stay in, smoke some weed, play video games, and go to bed.
If it was also legal and okay with, it would help the pill pandemic, right?
It helped me get through school, helped me with my stress.
I
when
mean,
it came
where
to
is it?
test taking and
Where is it
everything.
not legal anymore?
That's
Texas.
what I mean. But back
Texas.
then,
Oh,
if it
yeah,
was
yeah.
legal
Where
back
right.
then and it wasn't looked and frowned upon in pro sports as much as
Oh,
it
yeah.
was and is still, I think it would have changed, the way we would have been openly talking about this as athletes.
We
back
wouldn't have
then.
had to put our towel down on the floor in the hotel room on the road when we were smoking weed.
No,
Put the
you
towel
still-
in there. Let's go in the bathroom.
You
Let's go in
still
the
would
bathroom.
have had to do that.
Then you think you hear. I remember PA wigged out. PA, me and him smoked weed in Portland. He's like, man, the coach is coming. The coach is
Yeah,
coming. I'm
well,
like,
for sure.
breathe, bro. Breathe. We're all right.
And you never used to know which was the weed that would make you go full paranoia. Like you could probably
That's
smoke
what's
some of
great
the
about-
weed now and sit in your room and not really worry about
Yeah.
like, oh, if someone smelt it, like I'd just be like, you know what? I had a quick puff.
Yeah, it's funny. It's what's
Before you're like, I'm getting fucking, sent out of the country.
Yeah, that's why I stopped smoking when I did, because I was starting to get stuff that I was like, what the fuck am I smoking? But nowadays you go in there, you're like, give me the chill, give me this, give me that. I just don't smoke anymore because I take the munchies.
Was this podcast on weed?
Right.
I'll tell you what, I go back to when we were in Cabo, I did have that puff and I was laying in my bed and I'm like, fuck, I'm hungry. I went down and done me 2 tacos. So that's why I don't smoke weed anymore. But great call there. I don't even know who the hell it was.
short
but
dog, yeah.
That was, wow, that was just a good old fashioned weed conversation, which is great.
Smoking.
What do we got, Maxie?
Fellas, it's Tone Capone back with another story to give the fellas a laugh. Let's call this story, They're Not All 10s, or 3s Need Loving Too. So let me tell you about myself. I'm a house league beauty, never sniffed AAA, never mind the show like you fucking beauties. But the fellas and I always found ways to have a National League good time. So it's a Friday night. We're at the local establishment, which has a nightclub upstairs and a greasy strip club in the basement. So we're tearing up a rug with the fellas on the D floor when we realized we hadn't seen our buddy, the Red Wrench, in a minute. There's a pair of hefty honeys hitting on him a few minutes earlier, so I figured, hey, maybe he went for a drink with them. No more than 5 minutes after, my buddy comes, taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, you got to go check the downstairs washroom. I walk in to use the facilities. My buddy, the Wrench, is in there getting his carrot washed by this girl, and this girl has her purse dangling on her arm, and it was fucking sitting in the greasy toilet.
Oh.
So that was the last we saw of him that night. The next morning, I get a call. It's the Wrench. He asked me if I had been on Facebook that morning, and I hadn't. He proceeds to tell me that the two chunky ladies from the night before that took him home posted a video on Facebook at 4 a.m. of them blowing him. I asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, what were they? He said pushing 240. Fucking nose beers. The question I have for the boys is, what's the worst thing you've ever woken up to?
Oh. I don't even. Yeah. Worst thing you ever woken up to?
Fuck. I don't even know. Worst thing I ever woken up to. Well, now it's a fucking hangover. It's the worst thing I wake up to, man. It's like someone hit me with a 2x4 in the fucking head. I don't know. I'm sure back in my, I could tell a story. I'll tell one story. I was in Portland at the time, and the girl was hot. She wasn't bad at all. She wasn't a heifer, but I got tuned up good. I went down to Portland. I was kind of sulking. I thought I should have been in the show. So I got tuned up pretty good that night. Went back to her place. Don't remember anything. Woke up in the morning and she wasn't in the bed, and I was just kind of, and then she comes in. I'm like, hey, you want to, go for some breakfast or something? And she's like, get the fuck out of my condo. And I'm like, whoa, calm down. Like, what happened? I don't I was really drunk. She's like, you don't remember what you did in the middle of the night? I said, I don't remember. She's like, you got up, walked out of my bed, opened my dresser drawer, and pissed in my dresser. And I was like, all right, I'm leaving on my own here. So I guess I would say that was the worst thing that I ever woke up to. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe you do that. I'm out of here. But other than that, I don't think I ever woke up to like, if the girl was that bad, she wasn't spending the night, right?
I would imagine so.
That's how I always did it. My famous line was, I got a game tomorrow, or I got practice. I got to get up early. You can't stay over.
It's never perfect to sleep over places, right? No.
Yeah, so.
Not when you got your own bed.
You're being a little modest over there. You don't want to tell me. Yeah. Well, it was years ago, but anyways, we want to do one more.
We can do a couple more. Yeah. Here's one.
What's up, fellas? Calling from Newfoundland.
Newfie.
Mostly goes to the up dog because he played in Arizona. But we got a bunch of Newfies going to the Waste Management in February, and we're gonna do some golfing.
Yes, boy.
And a whole fucking load of drinking.
Yeah, you will.
So we'd love to know, during your time in Arizona, what's the hot spots? What do you recommend doing? And will you fellas be there checking out the Waste Management? And the Super Bowl's there that Sunday too, so I imagine that'll be a bit tangly. Anyways, have a good one. Love the show. And don't be afraid to visit Newfoundland. Up dog, you talk about Newfies all the time. Let's fucking do it.
All the time. That was
Take
great.
Care.
He sounded like a Newfie there.
Me brother.
All the time there.
I miss Newfoundland.
We need to do a fellow tour 100% to Newfoundland.
Yeah, we're going to go. Listen.
We got to do it, buddy.
My mom and dad are back there. They came to see me the last couple times to meet the kids. I got to bring the kids back there. I got to bring the boys back there. We got to see George Street. Got to see it in the summer. There's some good golf. We get out fishing, catch some codfish. My dad will bring us out
You're bringing
fishing.
the family, are you?
I have to. Oh, fuck.
That's not really a fellow tour, but all right, we'll bring the family. Fuck it, right. Let's do it.
Sometimes Obes just forget I have kids.
I do forget.
Can't just go to Newfoundland to see see the family.
You're right.
The kids.
That's true. I forgot. But I do want to go. I've never been.
You should go. It's fucking great. You should come. So anyway, answer this guy's call. He wants to know where to go in Scottsdale.
You're the man to ask. I will be at the Super Bowl.
There's no better. It's Scottsdale's like George Street down in Old Town. There's there's 30 bars within fucking 1 square block.
Bottle Blonde.
Everything. And then there's some strip clubs if you want some strip clubs. There's a casino if you want a casino. There's fucking 100 golf courses for him and his boys to go. You could even sneak the beers in your bag like a good Newfie guy would. You know?
Is there a good strip club in Scottsdale? I've never been to one in Scottsdale.
There is.
Never needed to.
Yeah, there's one called Bourbon Street. It's good.
Okay, that's good to know. It's good. I never even thought. I've never been to one there. Because those boys might need a good strip club. You never know. Good Newfies, right?
Yeah.
So what's it called?
Bourbon Street.
There you go, boys. Bourbon Street.
If you boys at least it
drunk.
was back 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Used to go there with Lulu's on. Let's have a time.
There we go. Now there we go. The up dog. So
we got a good one here to end on if you guys want to do one more.
All right.
Sup, buddies? Long time listener, second time caller. No relation to Mac Al that I know of, but us McLaughlins aren't afraid to delete a beer or 12. I'll tell you that for free.
That's
anyway, quick Vegas gambling story for you boys. Playing video poker at the bar with my brother and get dealt for the 5 for the Royal. Tap my brother on the shoulder. I go, hey, watch this. Boom, fucking hitter. Get 1,000 bones. My brother is all telling me to fuck all the way off back home. Fucking the day prior, I got 4 aces with a 2 for another 500 bones. So all in all, a quick 48-hour gambling heater. But do you boys have any Vegas gambling win stories? Yeah, keep up the good work, lads. Cheers.
4 aces with the 2. I wonder who would be calling him down the stretch. 4 aces.
I never had any wins in Vegas. I mean, our boy Loops, I've seen Loops go on some fucking heaters, man. Heaters.
Poker's a tough game to play in Vegas. You don't want to waste too much time on the tables.
Oh, was it poker he's talking about?
He was talking about poker.
Yeah.
Poker's good to play when you're flying with your boys or you're, sitting around a tournament or...
You want to kill some time in Vegas and not get rinsed at the blackjack table? I would go play poker.
Fuck, it's hard. Poker's long.
That's what I mean. So if you got like a couple hours where you're waiting for the boys or whatever and you don't want to play blackjack because you could lose 10 grand, I would go play some poker at a low minimum table and have a couple cocktails and fold true. Mostly.
The thing about poker too is you got to play with these fucking nerds. It's a big time nerd fest. Unless you're sitting with your boys. Like to me,
it's not like playing poker on the plane, is it?
It's definitely not. Yeah. You go sit at a casino or you play in like a casino tournament, and it's like computer nerds, man. These guys, all they do is play online poker. It's it's painful.
Online poker was popular when we were in the league.
Yeah,
I used to play a little online poker in my room at nights that I was staying in.
Yeah, I mean, it took over television for 10 years. Plus.
I mean, when we were in the league, that's when like the World Series of Poker was starting to really hum, right? Remember like Moneymaker and those guys? Like, that's when I remember I got into poker. I was like, fuck, I'll play with the boys. Do you ever go on it? You're pretty good. You're a good poker player.
Yeah. I played in one World Series event in Atlantic City while I played for the Flyers. They put in my 10 grand entry fee.
Fucking Flyers.
They put in my 10 grand entry fee, and I missed one day of training camp actually because I kept going on. I played 3 full days.
You missed training camp?
I missed one day of training camp.
They let you?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I donated, I basically won like $56,000. I donated it all to charity. So there you go. I think I finished like 25th out of like 4,000. Oops.
Wow.
Good plan.
It was I was there for 3 full days. It was crazy.
One more, are we done there, Maxie boy?
We can do one more.
This is the Harbormouth brothers. There's no way Obie's still fitting in those 2XL GoodLife shirts. So the question is, how is he getting them bigger, and where do us other chunky guys get them?
I mean, they still fit me.
The double XLs?
Yeah.
Yeah, GoodLife. I mean, it fits true. I'm a large.
Yeah, it fits me pretty good.
Golf gear, I'm a medium. The golf gear.
I'm a double X. I'm a double X all the way through. Wish my cock was double X. What was that guy's name?
Harbormouth Bros.
Harbormouth Bros. If you're not fitting a double XL, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's all they make them. You gotta
soft though.
You gotta stay in double XL. If you get over double XL, that's when fuck. Then you're going to the big and tall stores, right? You don't get you're not getting much selection.
Yeah, that's true.
If you go more in double XL, your fashion's gonna take a hit.
I don't think this guy's got much fashion by the sounds of things. I don't know. I'm not one to judge here, but
you got good style. You can judge. I was actually looking for some new threads for Aspen. There, you got my wheels turning the other day. So,
what are you looking at?
I was just looking at jackets, but I'm too cheap to pay. I'm just going to wear the one I wore last year.
What about Bex?
Yeah, I can maybe hit Bex up, but I don't want to spend any money on anything. I'm just going to rock the one I rocked last year. So
we can end on another beauty story if you want from
Let's
one of our repeat callers here.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod.
Fellas, RJ Parle here.
Parler.
Pretty sure if I get on, that's a record 3 times in a row. Put in my name for the Curfew Cup, so hopefully I get it in there. But anyways, my story is, I'm at a beer league tournament one time, and I got a buddy who's a little person. Looks like the guy of Jackass. And we're at strip club, and he gets kicked out. And of course, I go all out, Super 8. So I get the penthouse suite, has jacuzzi in it. I come home, unfortunately, came home alone, and there he is, floating in my jacuzzi suite with some arm wings on, little arm floaties. Anyways, do you guys have a story like that? And also, have you guys left a deal on the table or took a deal that you regret? Thanks, fellas. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I do. I wish I would have, when I signed my extension with Denver, I wish I would have fought harder for a no move or a modified no move. I should have turned it down and tested the market because they wouldn't give me a modified no move. And it ended up fucking costing me because I got traded to Calgary next year. And Calgary had offered me like $500,000 more to sign there. And I didn't sign because of Bob Hartley. And then I signed with the Avs and didn't take. So that's the one
there should be more. There should be more.
At that point in my career, I deserved to have some control of where I was going.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it puts some fucking like responsibility on these GMs to like own up to their deals.
Yeah. And I said to Sherman, Greg Sherman was the GM at the time. He got fired the next year and Sakic took over. But I'm like, Sherman, if you want to trade me, I don't want to stay here if you don't want me. But I want to have some say in where I'm fucking going. Like this will be my 10th year in the league or 9th year in the league. Like I've earned the right to, be able to talk to you about it. And, and he said, we don't do that here. And I ended up buckling. And then another shitty deal was you. When I took the 2-way in Florida, I should have just fucking went home and started skating with the boys here and fucking waited her out.
Yeah, you would have got a call for sure.
I would have got a call for sure. Yeah.
Instead, you got stuck in the Talon.
I got down in San Antonio. I got to play the power play down there. That was nice. First unit power play. So, up dog, you don't regret any deals. You made fucking tons of cash, don't you?
I mean, down the stretch, it was. I would have taken anything.
Yeah, you got paid early though. You got paid early.
Yeah, no, I just. My first year, like my first contract, which was 3 years, ended up sliding 2 extra years. It cost me a bunch of money because I didn't play enough games. So like I played my first game at 19. Had I played 10, I would have slid.
Poil.
So my 3-year entry level deal took me till I was 25, which fucked me because your second contract's when you make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So
I remember when you got that nice ticket there, July 1 with the Panthers. You came rolling in for the Loops' July 4th party.
Scored 22 goals.
I was looking at you like, that's got to be a nice feeling there, fella. Got to be a nice feeling.
I know. God.
Did you have fun that day?
Back. I was in Newfoundland.
No, you weren't. Well, not for July 4th. You weren't. You were at Loops' house. And there was an epic story that I won't tell on the air for you, but Biz was there. Do you remember the story I'm talking about?
Was that
not the year?
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah,
I think it was the year before. Because I was in Newfoundland the day I signed that deal for Florida, which is July 1st.
You could have been back on the 4th.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
were you living in Mission Viejo when you signed the deal? Do you remember? I think you might have been, weren't you?
Maybe. Driving in and out.
Yeah. So, Maxie Binger, great idea. Thanks for our callers. Listen, I think Curfew Call is a great idea. I love getting to know the boys. Lots of beauties that listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
so
hope this was enjoyable for the listeners.
It was great. Curfew Calls, fella.
Heads up for the bongs.